Hi guys, welcome to Thursday Thoughts, DOdaily. It's Des here. I'm not coming to you live today as I said I would be. Unfortunately, for the second Thursday in a row, we've had a bit of bad news, this time on Kay's side of the family. So we've had to rush off. I've just left the family and popped out to do a quick walk, to get the video on. Again, I was wondering whether it was the right thing to do, whether it's tasteful to do the video, but just like last week, with my mum being poorly, I thought it's the best to sort of get out of the way, keep doing the things I do. Perhaps gives them a little bit of time to discuss the situation. I'm up in Reneth as it is, just outside Mansfield. Lovely little pond. So I walked around here a couple of weeks ago with Kay's mum and dad and Kay. So I thought I'd just pop down. I know where it is now, so I thought I'd have a walk out, enjoy the sunshine. It's amazing again today, isn't it? Really, really nice. I hope you're enjoying it. Hope you're getting out there. Hope you're getting active. Sorry, I'm getting attacked by flies as is usual by now. Yeah, if you are being active, please stay safe, guys. There was a couple of tips yesterday, which, whilst it's not rocket science, whilst it's probably stuff you don't know, it's always useful to be reminded on. And if that can help you in any way, keeping fit and exercising and staying well whilst it's particularly hot, then hopefully they do. It's just worth taking on board. I've got a few questions to go at today. A couple of the guys have asked me to speak about certain things, which is I'm particularly grateful for. Thanks for that, guys. Keep the questions coming in. Anything you want, seriously, keep them fired away. Lots of people talk to me privately, about certain things. And if you want to sort of message me privately and you want me to answer, sort of hear it out without mentioning any names or who asked, then more than happy to do that. There's got 100% discretion here. So I'm happy to talk about my sort of relationship with running and with mental health and with all these things that sort of impact us on a day-to-day basis. I was writing a Facebook post about DOdaily the other day, and I was trying to sort of word it in a way that makes it easy for people to understand and makes it so it's not too full on, which I'm sure you get the message I'm trying to be. And the wording I used was perfectly imperfect, which I think pretty much sums it up. I don't always say the right thing. I don't always say the right word. I get my words mixed up, just like that. And I also lose my train of thought quite a lot. But just trying to be a useful source of information daily, somewhere to refer to in routine. Again, routine's really important right now, and just getting through these things. I'm learning that as much as ever right now with the things that are going on with our families. I said last week I was unsure whether to do the video, but just like last week when my mum was poorly, I needed to sort of drive through it, keep to my routines, keep doing what I needed to do, and it gave me some real focus. And ultimately the situation improved with my mum, and then obviously I felt great for approaching it in that way. So sometimes coming out of a bad situation can really depend on the way you go into it, and I suppose that's what I'm trying to say, is just prepare yourself properly. As horrible as things can be sometimes in life, as unfair as it seems, it's an amazing thing. We need to make the most of it. Again, right now I'm learning that as much as ever. So please stay positive, guys. Please keep going. Anyway, those questions, like I say, the first one's from Kirsty. Kirsty asked about chafing. I think it's something we all experience, isn't it? And it's worth talking about, particularly after yesterday, talking about running in the hot weather, or taking part at least in the hot weather. We cover all activities here. So if you're exercising and doing physical activity, whether it's hot, whether it's cold, sometimes you might be a bit at risk of chafing. Lots of time, to be honest, all of us kind of suffered. Everybody who's kind of serious about what they do, who takes part in regular activity, it's a necessary evil in a way. All that, you finish that run, you feel fantastic, all those endorphins flowing, and then you're getting that hot shower and you're like, ah. But it's one of those things, isn't it? Don't let it don't let it sort of get to you too much. There are little things we can do, to reduce it, little things we can do to sort of ease it when we get chafing. And most of us will get it somewhere on the body, you know, because chafing basically is caused by either skin on skin friction or skin on clothes friction or material at least. So most of us do physical activity in clothes. If you don't, then that's up to you. But I've just lost my own train of thought by saying that, but there you go. There goes my dirty mind. Anyway, yeah, so we're all going to suffer at some point from friction and chafing, as it's more commonly known. And generally, like I say, it's caused by that friction. So what you can do almost, the first thing, and I'm sure everybody knows this without me saying, the first thing you can do before taking part in any activity, if you've suffered before and the areas you know you're going to suffer, is absolutely lather it in Vaseline. It's not the most pleasant experience, you know. I hate Vaseline. I hate touching it. I hate it being on my hands. But it's one of those things I have to do. I got really caught short a couple of years ago at the Great North Run. I ran a brilliant half marathon. It was only my second or third, and it was my personal best, which I was really pleased with. But after about 5 miles, I was in absolute agony. I wore the wrong shorts. I thought I was ready to run in these really short shorts and run like some sort of athlete, which I'm really not. What it did, it caused lots of friction on the inside of my legs. You know, it's a common area. Don't want to be too graphic about it, but men, women both suffer the same in that area. And it was the problem that day was the shorts I wore. I didn't put Vaseline on. It was something I'd never really done before. Do you know, I got to sort of 5-6 miles and there was medics with pots of Vaseline, you know, and I had to stop and rub that in. And whilst it probably helped me later on in that race, the damage was already done. It was that bad. I'd burnt the inside of my legs, like literally had burns on either side. So really, I learned a lesson that day. I learned a real lesson that I need to look after myself in terms of chafing. So of course, ever since, I've really lathered it on. Do you know, there's things you can do. Talcum powder can work, particularly if it can absorb some of the sweat. Not all of it, of course. Just like Vaseline, it doesn't all sort of work all the time. Do you know, if you're doing long runs in particular, you might need a small pot of Vaseline, do you know, just to carry with you in your pocket or in a bag, just to sort of reapply. Do you know, lots of people who suffer from chafing have it will be because of long runs, because of long bike rides, do you know, sitting on a saddle as well, same sort of experience. So it's always important to carry these things with you. Do you know, in terms of clothing, what you can do, you know, I mentioned yesterday, which for chafing's not a brilliant idea. I tend to wear loose clothing if I go out on a short run. Do you know, in particular, I'll wear a baggy t-shirt, but that's not great, because what happens is the t-shirt moves in all different directions. It's pulling, it's tugging on the skin. Men get a lot of chafing on the chest, where the t-shirt kind of, where the sweat hangs and it sort of tugs off you. So baggy t-shirt's not always great. Do you know, if you can wear something that's nice fitting, do you know, not moving too much, of course not too tight, because then it's going to have the same effect. In the winter I tend to wear a lot of base layers. Do you know, it's great for it's great to keep warm for a start, and that's why I tend to wear them. But I find I don't chafe as much, even though rain and being wet in that sense and being cold and damp can cause chafing. I don't chafe so much because of the base layers I wear. Of course, in the summer, that's really tough, because they make you really hot, although you'll see lots of people still out running in base layers. Whatever you're comfortable with, but like I say, it's got to be really, whether it's shorts, t-shirt, really comfortable fitting clothes. Do you know, of course, the usual ailments and gels. There's lots of things out there I was reading up today. I won't sort of mention any by name because I can't remember them all, to be honest, but there's lots you can read up on if you look up about chafing. I'll post a link as well, which will offer up some advice. So it's just little things you can do. Do you know, when you get home, if you have suffered and you feel it, like I say, you get in the shower, try not to put red hot water onto chafing marks or where you've been chafing, you know. Nice cool water will just ease it slightly. If you put the red hot water on, it's going to cause a real burning sensation, you know. And it's just about finding what works for you. Like a lot of these things, like a lot of these tips, I'm not sitting on the fence with this, but it's about finding what works, finding what really does it for you. Do you know, chafing gets caused by hydration packs, by bags, you know, bum bags and things that you might keep things in. So again, little things like that, you just need to sort of test them a little bit. It's unfortunate, but sometimes it's tried and tested. Personally, I invested in a pair of underwear, which is supposed to be chafe free. They do a pretty good job, to be fair, do you know, and I know they do a range in women's and men's clothing. And also, something I read today, people quite often cut out labels and stitching, do you know, where it's another sort of good way of avoiding that contact with the skin. So if you've got a tag or inner stitching in shorts or a t-shirt, sometimes it's a good idea to cut it out. Do you know, like I said about the shorts, wear that kind of like that tighter fitting. I tend to wear shorts now with a sort of underlining in down to the knee, just so the inside of my legs don't rub. And it's just those things. I think Kirsty asked particularly about leggings and shorts. I think it just depends where you're chafing, but I'd imagine leggings are best. But then again, it's that thing again with the base layer, isn't it, where you're wearing it because you're cold, you know. You like to wear shorts and a vest. A vest might be a good one. I personally can't wear a vest because I tend to chafe under my arms if I do, with the friction of my arm movements. So like I say, there's lots of things there, there's lots you can look up, there's lots to go at, but it's just a case of finding what works for you. Do you know, it's one of those again, do you know, like stitch and like other things, there's no one size fits all, and if there was, it'd be a miracle. Oh, just before I finish on chafing, men as well, I've had this one real bad. Nipple chafing. It's a little bit embarrassing. You don't really want to do that, and when you finish a race and people think you've been shot twice, it's not a great look. So what I tend to do now, I tend to find some really sticky, horrible tape and stick it across my nipples. Sounds bizarre, I know. It's a bizarre thing to be talking about right now, but it's really effective in the fact even if it doesn't stay there, because what tends to happen with this is a lot of it peels off sometimes. Anything, plasters and things like that tend to peel off, and the Vaseline wears away. But if you find some real tape that sticks on, and it might just last for as long as possible. Again, it's a really tricky one. And there's little things you can try online, but that, like I said, there's lots to go out there with chafing. Hope that helps. Hope that helps Kirsty and everybody else. So just following on from yesterday, I thought that was a decent one to talk about. And don't ask about accessories. What's my must-have running accessory? Sorry, I just don't want to get one over. Yeah, don't ask what's my must-have running accessory. Sorry, there's a car on the other side of the fence. And to be honest, I like to think I'm not very materialistic, but I don't generally have much when I'm running. Do you know, sometimes I'll have my headphones in, but I'm not one for running all the time. Probably the more and more I run with people, I tend not to listen to music. So, and that's what I've been doing in the last couple of years. I used to always have my headphones in. It was important. It's great to get through sometimes. You know, when I do stick my headphones in now, it feels like a real treat. One of them mind games I play with myself, as if I'm treating myself for exercise. So that might be one that you really swear by. Do you know, of course, I'll have a watch on, a timing watch. Do you know, that's one thing I love to do, is time myself, push myself when I can. Do you know, see how far I've done. I'm always one for stretching that, do you know, putting an extra mile in and putting a bit of extra time in and things like that. So it works great as a motivator. But other than that, oh, of course, my big thing, and I'm looking at it now, is my phone. Do you know, I love taking pictures. So if I'm out running, the one thing I really do have to have, because I can do most things through my phone, do you know, I can record things, I can take pictures, but I must have it in case I see that shot I need. Do you know, I don't actually need it, but I love taking pictures as well. Do you know, it's just, again, it's that little bit of positivity, that little bit of, that little bit to remember a certain run by. Do you know, why not have that? Do you know, you can attach them to your Strava now and your Facebook and whatever you want to do with them, and if that's something you do, it's really important to me. So I guess the one accessory I've always got is my mobile phone, and that's important as well, isn't it? Because particularly if we're out alone, do you know, it's almost an extra safety measure. Do you know, you can always contact home should you have to. And whilst we're out and about, do you know, I'm out in a wooded area now. Do you know, I run in all sorts of areas, sort of wander off on my own where people don't know where I am. Do you know, it's really important that people can find you if there is an emergency. There's such thing as Strava Beacon now. I know every time Kay goes out, I get a message to my watch and to my phone, and I can basically watch where she runs. I can track it, and if there was any issues, I'd know where to go. So the short answer to Dawn, I guess, is my mobile phone, but there are little things, you know, watch, do you know, Kay loves her aftershocks, do you know, I love my phone, do you know. Other than that, you don't really need that much to run or to exercise with, other than your own sort of dedication and commitment and perseverance, do you know. So whilst they're all useful, I wouldn't say they're the most important things. Very, very occasionally I'll run with nothing, just to go and have a free run. Do you know, it's called a naked run. Getting back to becoming a bit of a theme, that naked thing, isn't it? Not on purpose. But yeah, so they call it a naked run, where you leave all your devices and you leave all your sort of equipment and you just go and run with your own thoughts and your own mind. And again, at a time where we need to be positive and where we can use exercise as a real positive and to make ourselves feel better, I think that's quite important as well, isn't it? You know, very occasionally just go out there for a run, forget about everything, you've got your own thoughts, and you know, sometimes you really surprise yourself when you do that. You know, you've ran probably faster than you think you can, you know, or you think you have, and it's really, really great to come back and then go, oh, is that it? And then you work out how far you've gone and you think that's fantastic. And again, it's just about taking the positives from whatever, whether you use things, whether you don't use things, do you know. And that this is a recurring theme on DOdaily, about being positive, do you know, using these little tips, these ideas to do different things. Do you know, tomorrow I'll be up walking about in Nottingham again, and really looking forward to getting back to that. All being well, I'll be able to get somewhere that last week I couldn't do it, so I missed it, and the last couple of weeks it's been wet. Hopefully the sun holds out for me and I get to walk, do you know, attack the day in the right way, set off again, and whatever tomorrow's going to throw at us, do you know, we'll have to deal with it. Do you know, positivity and sort of mental health is a little bit of a choice. I don't want to be harsh, and I really don't want to say pull yourself together and those kind of things, but you have to make a choice to be happy. Just a little one, I saw somebody make a positive comment, and then the knock-on effect they've had from that throughout the day, and that person probably doesn't even realise, but I noticed by them making a comment and people making comments back, it said a real plus point on them. And whilst people might look in and go, oh, what's he talking about now, blah blah blah, do you know, it really does work. If you're positive, if you put some positivity out there, you'll get some back, and then it'll just build and build. So for now, guys, I've said quite a lot today, considering a little bit rushed for time and the situation I've got to go back to. So really grateful for you listening. If you like it, if you like the other videos, please check the other videos out. If you like them, give it a thumbs up, give us a follow. I'm really keen to keep doing this and keep encouraging people to stay active, stay positive and stay safe. For now, guys, just doing it. Cheers.